한 것을 생각하지 아니하며
윤서야,
기뻐하지 아니하며
사도신경 끝나면은 저 방에 들어가서 불 다 꺼버려. 알았지? 영상 틀 거니까. 처음에 기도하는 거 있잖아. 기도 끝나고 기도 시작하면 빨리 들어가. 기도 딱 끝나면 불 다 꺼버려. 알지? 아니, 끝나자마자 불 다 꺼버려. 저 안에 들어가서 뭐 하나 볼 거니까.
생각하는 것이
불 다 꺼.
아니 말하는 것이 어린아이와 같고 깨닫는 것이 어린아이와 같고 하는 것이 어린아이와 같다가 정성한 사람이 되어서는 어린아이를 버려두라. 우리가 지금은 거울로 보는 것 같이 희미하나 그때에는 얼굴과 얼굴을 보여 볼 것이요 우리가 지금은 점점 그때에는 주께서 나를 아실 것 같이 내가 온전히 아니라 그런즉 믿음 소망 사랑 이스라엘 상상이 있어지는데 집중 제일은 사랑이라.
언니 그 무슨 사랑하지 마. 동사 마스크. 왜? 벚꽃 찍는다고 벚꽃사진 찍는. 당연히 그렇게 이러고서
별 반짝반짝거리는 거 이렇게
재밌다.
되게 잘해요. 나는 아예 이번에 안 돼서 시간을 옮겨 있어. 머리 이 정도는 쉬고
TV 틀어주세요.
10월 마지막 주 신앙 고백으로 예배를 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 나는 전능하신 아버지 하나님 천지의 창조주를 믿습니다. 나는 그의 유일하신 아들 예수 그리스도를 믿습니다. 그는 성령으로 잉태되어 동정녀 아래에 나시고 본디오 빌라도에게 고난을 받아 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으시고 장사된 지 사흘 만에 죽은 자 가운데서 다시 살아나셨습니다. 하늘에 오르시어 전능하신 아버지 하나님 손에 앉으시다가 그로부터 하나님 여자와 죽은 자를 심판하러 오십니다. 나는 성령을 믿으며
저희 부를 찬양을 만드신 분의 그 어떤 마음으로 만드셨는지 영상을 하나 보고 시작을 할 건데요. 찬양의 열기라는 나온 지 좀 오래된 찬양인데 예. 원작자가 어떤 마음으로 이 찬양을 만들었는지를 좀 같이 보고 공감하고 싶어서 영상을 준비를 했거든요. 예, 일단 틀어주세요.
Sing together. When the music fades and all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to breathe something as a word that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. Come and sing, and I'm coming back to heart of worship. And it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the things I've made. And it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. It's all about you.
Kingdom at this word, sing with us. Kingdom at this word, no one could express how much you deserve. And though I'm weak and poor, all I have is yours. Every single breath. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things have been. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship.
It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made. It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm coming back to the heart of worship. It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus.
Hello there, I'm Diana Roos Jordan, and welcome to the Heart of Worship Online, an extended version of a new monthly feature on my BBC Radio 2 programme, The Sunday Hour, where I get the opportunity to interview a composer or a writer of sacred music to find out how they put together a piece of music, especially for worship. My first guest of the series is singer-songwriter and worship leader Matt Redman, whose song The Heart of Worship inspired the title of this feature. Matt, it's just great to have you on the show.
Thank you, it's great.
So, Heart of Worship, what's that song all about?
I guess it's really about focusing in on what it means to worship. What is it all about? What's the purpose of this? And ultimately, when I wrote the song, it was to say, let's strip it all back. We've got all this music going on, You know, we've got all these attempts at songwriting and style, but what it's all about, and it's really just lift your eyes up towards God.
I mean, now that song is known internationally. It really touches the core of people when we sing that song. You really feel as if you're actually worshipping. But if you can just take me right back to the beginning, the real roots, and really describe what happened.
Yeah, it was an interesting song because it was actually written as a very personal thing for me, and I didn't realise it could be something that was congregational. I was at a church in Watford called Soul Survivor Watford, it's part of the Anglican Church, and we had this crazy little season where the pastor, a guy called Mike Bonavacci, he said, right, you know, we love to worship through song, but I think we should refocus a bit and make sure that we're not leaning on all the props like the sound system and, you know, who's leading worship and what songs. He said, so we're going to get in a room with just our voices and our Bibles, strip it all away and check that we can still bring an offering to God. And you know, this church was full of teenagers and young 20s, and it was a really kind of bold thing to do. And to be honest, the first week it was a little bit awkward. It was like, and I was thinking, like, what's my job? You know, I used to be the music leader here. I have nothing to do now. But that actually made me ask some questions. You know, what are my motives when I do this? When I'm up there on the stage, you know, am I doing this as service or am I trying to build my own little thing? You know, and it was a great moment for me as a musician and as a worshipper to refocus. And so I wrote this little song describing what happened. It says, when the music fades, all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's of worth, that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song. And then the chorus says, I'm coming back to the heart of worship. Like I said, when I first wrote it, I thought that was my little thing, but then figured out actually those words seem to relate to other people.
When you started out as a young lad, did you know that you were going to be a singer-songwriter?
No.
How did it happen then?
Well, I can't even read music, and I always like messing around with words. But it was my youth leader. He heard me singing and encouraged me in that. I was in a great church which encouraged young people to use gifts, and you know, started traveling around the country at weekends to different churches from about the age of 15, 16. And then this whole Soul Survivor movement took off, which was thousands and then tens of thousands of young people. And it just was a great moment to learn, you know, it kind of stretched you. You had to write songs to give them something to sing, and you had to kind of up your game music-wise. So it was great. It was a great learning environment.
So how did you write your songs, particularly as you say you don't write or read music?
Yeah, I mean, it's instinct to me really, and you know, now and again I have to surround myself with musicians who know what they're doing, but just my approach has always been just to try and pour my heart out and try and let my mind guide it, you know, and I want the songs to be passionate but also purposeful. So I think sometimes songs can just be this stream of overflow and it's kind of unconscious, and can be a beauty to that music. I like a lot of music like that, but when you're writing congregational worship songs, it can't be like that. You have to be very focused. You have to think, because you're putting words into people's mouths.
I was actually going to ask you about that, the difference between writing a song because it just flows out of you, and writing a song that you know people of all tastes and ages will be singing, hopefully every Sunday in their local church.
Yeah.
So what do you focus on? Do you focus on scripture, that congregation? What do you do?
Well, I mean, firstly, it has to be real to me. Secondly, I do want it to reflect God well. You know, I'd like someone to sing one of my songs and think, oh yeah, that's describing the God that we read about in the Bible. You know, that would mean a lot to me. But also, it has to connect with people's lives. You know, I remember something Bono from U2 once said about songwriting. He said, you can have 1,000 ideas, but without emotion, it's just an essay. So I don't want my songs just to be the cerebral exercise. I want them to be something that people can connect with and pour their hearts into it, and more than that, even that, oh yeah, this is relevant to my life. I've been going through this thing this week, and this song speaks into that. This song's a great prayer for me right now because I'm walking through this storm of life, whatever it might be. You know, I want the songs, the ones that have taken off the most, they've always been the ones that seem to connect with people's real lives.
Worship is so important.
좀 원작자가 이런 마음으로 만든 찬양인데 이게 지금 여기 나왔던 그 해석하고 저희가 부를 찬양하고는 좀 가사가 좀 틀려요. 근데 이제 여러 사람이 번역을 하다 보니까 좀 틀린데 저희는 이제 원래 지금 제일 대중적인 번역된 곡으로 찬양을 할 건데요. 네. 원래 알고 있던 곡인데 약간 이게 가사가 너무 이렇게 오그라드는 것 같아서 제가 촬영을 한 번도 안 했었는데 원작자의 이런 얘기를 듣고 좀 생각 좀 바뀌었습니다. 좀 같이 나누고 싶은 찬양이라서 한번 처음으로 한번 같이 찬양을 해보겠습니다.
주 앞에 나와
예전에 군대를 다녀왔는데 저도 교회가 없었습니다. 근데 이제 다른 부대로 예배를 드리러 다녔었는데 이런 게 없었어요. 악기 같은 게 칠 사람도 없었고 저도 기타를 치다가 군대를 갔는데 군대를 기타를 가져가면 안 되니까 그래가지고 어느 날 이제 저희 부대에서도 예배를 하려고 아무것도 없으니까 제가 기타를 들고 갔어요. 상병 때 아마 들고 간 것 같은데 기타 하나밖에 없으니까 얼마나 좀 썰어가겠어요. 남자들끼리 이것도 근데 난로가 이제 겨울이니까 난로 같은 게 있고 주전자가 있는데 자기 드럼을 쳤었다는 거예요. 밖에서 드럼은 없으니까 난로를 쳤었어요. 네, 찬양하면서 주전자를 치고 주전자가 10번이었던 거죠. 그랬던 기억이 나더라고요. 네. 되게 열악하다고 생각하면 열악한 건데 언제 또 그렇게 하고 있어요. 그런 것들을 경험을 하고서 이제 밖에 나와서 이제 저희가 마음이 너무 이렇게 되게 작은 교회지만 부족한 실력이지만 이렇게 뭔가들을 갖추고 찬양한다는 게 너무나 감사하다는 걸 느꼈습니다. 그래서 좀 기본 마음을 예전처럼 돌아가서 너무 이렇게 이것저것 다 신경 쓰려고 하니까 아무것도 안 되는 것 같아요. 집중도 안 되고. 가장 기본적인 거는 저희가 예배하려고 모이고 경배하려고 함께 지금 이 자리에 있다는 거. 저희가 같이 예배를 드리기 위해 모인 사람들이기 때문에 이 악기나 이런 다른 것들이 방해가 되면 저는 안 된다고 생각합니다. 모두가 같이 이제 찬양을 할 때 이제 주님을 경배하고 예배를 준비하고 찬양을 같이 하셨으면 좋겠어요. 이번 주에 영상을 보고 두 곡만 뽑았습니다. 질품의 품으소서 찬양하겠습니다.
준비하도록 하겠습니다.
할렐루야. 찬양 받으시기에 합당하신 주님, 우리 모두에게 주님을 예배할 수 있는 특권과 은혜를 주셔서 감사합니다. 하나님을 아바 아버지라 부르고 하나님의 아들답게 하나님의 딸들답게 거룩한